righty, let's check out that Soul Train line now. The Soul Train gang to the music of Earth, Wind, and Fire and Mighty, Mighty.
Music, it can make you sing, tap your feet, and even dance. Music, it can make you laugh, it can make you cry. Music, it can express hurt and even has been known to be the start of making babies. Did I say that? Hello, my name is Professor AMD, and welcome to From the 8-Track to the MP3. We'll be taking a look at how the delivery of music has changed down through the years. LP stood for long play, and 45 stood for 45 rhythms per minute. The 45 allow you to hear the grooves in the record. 45s became important for singles, and LPs were used for those classic albums.
Personally, I've got over 3,000 albums, and I really think that vinyl has the cleanest sound, in my opinion, because it's nothing like putting the needle on the record. You know, you can hear the grooves. You can actually feel the music as it's playing, and that's lost when you hear a cassette tape, a reel-to-reel, an MP3. It's nothing like hearing the grooves as they're being played, you know. But digital recording, supposedly everything is clean, it's clear. I can't tell the difference myself. Now, I could tell the difference between a cassette recording and playing the vinyl. Now, that's the thing, because if you had a messy album, then of course the cassette would sound trashy, you know. But
hey guys, welcome to my record cave. We're back here. I guess I gotta talk about something now. Whenever vinyl is written about, it seems like they always talk about the warmth and purity of the sound, which is absolutely bang on. It's true. But the thing is, I think that what makes vinyl more alluring than an MP3 is a lot more than that. Okay, so I'm going to try to explain what the allure is for me. It's kind of just the fact that, you know, you're grabbing the vinyl and you're kind of picking it out, right? And, you know, opening it up and checking out all the art and stuff. You grab the record and you pull it out and, you know, you check it out. Again, some records are heavier than others. Others are paper thin, right? So it's not the same experience at all. There's all kind of these little sensory things that go into the whole idea of putting on a record.
Now, I still have my LPs. I still have them because I think there's a certain quality in that sound of an LP that you won't find on an MP3. I'm real particular when it comes to sound like that. So I do keep a Technics 1200, and I keep my turntable, and I find me some needles every once in a while, and I play my records.
The 8-track, or Stereo 8 as it was called, is a magnetic tape sound recording technology that was popular in the United States from the 1960s to the early 1980s. From there, the compact cassette format took over and music was never the same. It was known as analog recording, which was using a information represented by a continuously variable physical quantity. That was a mouthful.
So Sundance, when you think about how we listen to music or the delivery of music, what would you like to say about that?
How we listen to it?
Yeah, and how it's delivered. Like from, it used to be 8 tracks, then it went to tapes, and now we got the MP3.
Well, that was my era. The 8-track, and then it went to cassette. And that's how I used to listen to the radio. I used to record the rap down. Remember when Ramon and Disco Dave,
Pink House,
they were on 9:50 a.m. and then they moved to FM to GCI. So the whole generation of how I listen to hip hop and how I listen to house music, it did start from the 8-track.
When I first started in '85 in radio. And back then we had turntables, we had the reel-to-reel, and I was busy in production splicing tape together. I wasn't on the air, but I was splicing tape together for commercials and for other songs, things like that. I knew I was heavily invested in that reel tape because every time I cut my finger, my fingers would bleed onto the tape. That's how I knew I was deeply invested in that material.
8-tracks were good. They were fun. if you learn how to trick them. And what I mean by that is there's so many clicks to get back to your favorite song. So I had Marvin Gaye's What's Going On. And when I would play that on the 8-track, I knew how many clicks to get back to What's Going On.
Now we have the MPEG-3, better known as the MP3. It is an audio coding format for digital audio. It uses digital compression to be able to encode data.
Wow. Oh, well, when I first got here, I had to relearn all of that. I didn't know anything about the digital age when it came to MP3s and putting things together like that. So I had a lot to learn. Sound waves and trying to mesh them together, separating sound. I had to learn all of that. So once I got the hang of that, probably in the when I first started coming to Kennedy King back in the early, maybe 2010, something like that. That's when I started to get that transition, started to learn that. So yeah, it was hard at first because, you know, I was in the Stone Age. Back then I didn't know much about audio waves and files and things like that. But once I got the hang of it, then, you know, I had to take off because I knew that was the future of radio.
When you have an MP3, all of that gets cleared up through production. That's the only way to clear it up, is through production when you have this MP3.
Now we move forward another generation altogether. Apple introduces these things right here, right? Now that's a complete game changer in the music industry, and everything goes completely south. Why? Because now we can compress these songs into MP3 format, and you know what? There's tons of sites online where you can steal this shit, so you don't have to spend money on records anymore. Okay?
How I listen to hip hop and how I listen to house music, it did start from the 8-track, then cassette, then DAT, then CD, and now everything is conformed and compressed to an MP3 file. And that's if it wasn't for MP3s, we would still be carrying crates and crates and crates of records because they compressed it down to an MP3 file. I'm able to put 1 million songs in this hard drive, this external hard drive.
Do you ever